So UFC 322, Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev is taking place this weekend. And this shit means something to me, man. This shit means something to me. Look at this fucking card, dude. This shit is stacked from head to toe. We have former champions on this card. We got number one contender fights. We got two double champ. Like, we have an actual good WMMA fight on this fucking card. We got some hot prospects. We got some new, like, people right outside the rankings that are fighting each other. We get, like, this fight. This fucking card it's fucking beautiful, man. And after all the Goy Apex slop that we've had to fucking deal with over the last, like, we've been literally fed fucking, like we're fucking the pigs from Lord of the Flies shit. And they're taking fucking shovels and fucking just slop and feeding it to us. And look at this fucking card, man. We're UFC fans. And we're getting, honestly, bro, this is one of the best cards on paper that I have seen in quite some time. So Tony has died. I'm going to be breaking down this card, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, do all that YouTube shit. And let's get straight into this, man. Let's get straight into the video, starting with the first fight on this card, which is Susukaev versus Mechanico. Now, if you don't know who Basengar Susukaev is, he is an undefeated Russian prospect. He trains with Islam Makhachev. He had a fight 2 months ago on the Dana White's Contender Series, and he won very easily with a body kick, all right? Then he says, fuck it. I'm taking a fight in another week. He takes the fight on a week's notice against Eric Nolan. And don't get me wrong, he did face a little bit of adversity in that fight, but he still ended up choking Eric Nolan out. And look, a lot of people are going to be looking at that Eric Nolan fight and being like, bro, this guy's overrated. He took the fight on a week's notice and he was like showboating and shit. And then he ended up getting the finish anyways. Eric Nolan, he put up a good performance for fighting someone that's such a high level prospect like Susukaev. But I still think Susukaev, like, this fight is literally just teed up for Susukaev to go out there and get a fucking finish. I think Eric Mechanico, he's not very good. Like, he arguably should have lost to Brundage. I honestly thought Brundage won. All right, let's be for real. I thought Brundage beat Eric Mechanico. And that was just 2 months ago. So he's taken this fight 2 months after he went to war with Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage, one of the worst fighters on the roster. But he is a grappler. Susukaev is mostly a striker. So it's like, okay, maybe Eric Mechanico, he could do good in the striking. No. Eric Mechanico sucks on the feet as well. He got knocked out by Zoltan Ruziboyev. Ruziboyev and Susukaev kind of have a similar-ish frame where they're tall for the division and they have really good striking. So I think Basengar Susukaev is going to knock out Mechanico in the first round. I think this will be a great fight to start the card off with, all right? The next fight that's on the card, we have Angela Hill versus Fatima Kline. Let's be real, bro. I like Angela Hill, and she has some fights like the Ricci fight, which I thought she won, which was a robbery. And, you know, she has a bunch of split decisions on her fucking record that should have go her way. And, you know, whatever. I don't think she won the Caitlin Souza fight, which went her way. So, you know, I'm not complaining because it's unranked WMMA, but 40-year-old Fatima Kline, she only has one loss in the UFC versus Jasmine Jasdavicius, who's she just wasn't a number one contender fight herself. She knocked out Victoria Dudikova with ease. She knocked out Melissa Martinez with a nasty head kick. I think Angela Hill is going to be outclassed in this fight. She's 40 years old. She's been around the UFC for quite some time. And don't get me wrong, she's fraud-checked a lot of people. People call her like the Neil Magny of the women's weight classes. Not just because she looks like Neil Magny in the face, which she low-key does, but because she has the win-loss. She's been ranked forever, but I think there comes a time where we have to just be realists with ourselves. She hasn't looked good in her last three, even though the Ricci fight I thought should have gone the other way. She still lost. The Souza fight, I thought she should have lost. She got destroyed by Yasmin Lucindo. The textbook to beat Angela Hill has been written, And I don't see why Fatima Kline, who actually gets finishes for WMMA fights, I don't see why she can't win this fight with the skills that have already been put out there by other people. So I'm picking Fatima Kline to knock out Angela Hill. I think she'll drop her with a punch and then ground and pound. First round, all right? The next fight on this card, we have Chepe Mariscal versus Pat Sabatini. This is the first fight on this card that is hard to predict, man. Because I think Pat Sabatini is a highly underrated fighter. His only losses are to Damon Jackson and Diego Lopez. And he has beaten basically everybody else except for them. He has the win over Joe Anderson Brito, which is very impressive. We know how good of a prospect Joe Anderson was. I'm pretty sure Joe Anderson Brito actually has a win over Diego Lopez, if I'm remembering that one correctly. And he beat him. So it's like a weird fucking triangle, you know? It's like a fucking MMA math. Doesn't make any sense, but unfortunately for Pat Sabatini, I think Chepe Mariscal possesses all of the abilities that are needed to go out there and beat Pat Sabatini. He's undefeated in the UFC. He's on a 5-fight win streak, so I like the momentum that he's been carrying. And I won't lie, I don't think that his wins have been that impressive. The Charrier win is impressive. It was a split decision, but he still beat Charrier, he's a decent fighter. The Jack Jenkins win, that was a fluke. That was like the weird KO. Like, it was just like they moved wrong and Jack Jenkins got hurt. But so he's really 4-0 in the UFC. He hasn't fought any. This is the first real step up, all right? I think he has the striking to deal with someone like Pat Sabatini, okay? I think that if Sabatini's going to win this fight, it has to be by submission. And I just like the submission defense and the anti-grappling displayed in his last fight against Ramos. And not only that, I think he just has really crisp boxing, and he's a pretty decent striker. Now, I don't think Chepe is going to be like a big force at featherweight. I think that like this honestly might be as far as he goes. Like I would probably like dead ass. I think someone like Cater could do decently against Chepe. Like I don't know if Chepe is like high level enough, but I think Pat Sabatini, he's kind of been, you know, he picked up 2 wins, but you know, I don't know, man. I just don't. This is such a like. This is what's wrong with this fucking card. Not wrong, but this is what's tricky about this fucking card. There are so many fights that are like this that you can see the way that both people could win. I'm not trying to fence right here, but I think Chepe should get it done, man. Like I definitely could see Pat Sabatini taking Chepe down and doing like a heel hook on him, or maybe even like getting a rear naked choke, or maybe. Like I'm pretty sure his signature move is a he's good with the arm triangle too. I'm pretty sure he finished someone with that. I can't remember who, but I think Chepe should win this. He should stuff the takedowns. And someone like Diego Lopez and like okay, bro. I just remembered he lost to fucking Damon Jackson. We're gonna be fucking fine, guys. Listen, guys. We're gonna be fucking fine, guys. Pat Sabatini got knocked out by Damon Jackson, guys. All right, we'll be fine. All right. The next fight we need to talk about. Man. I hate to... Like, this is... Dude, this is such a tricky fucking fight, bro. Because this just feels like a classic GM3ism incoming, where he gets absolutely destroyed, and then the third round he finds a submission. But I'm not going to lie... I think what Kyle Daukaus did to Michel Pereira is really impressive. Like, I know it's Michel Pereira, and he's been on the decline. He was on a 2-fight losing streak whenever he fought Daukaus. He took the fight on short notice, and he still got knocked out by Daukaus. And we've seen Daukaus get humiliated time and time again in the UFC. But on the regional scene, Kyle Daukaus was making these people look fucking easy. And they're not just scrubs that he's making look easy either. He knocked out Kenan Patcharuk, who is 5-1. He has a win over a 17-8 guy, which is decent for regional scene, and 8-4 guys. So these aren't just like complete scrubs on the regional scene, like the Khabibs, fighting people making their debut, fighting people with negative records and shit. He's fighting decent people on the regional scene, and he's finishing them in the first round, okay? GM3, on the other hand, fuck, man. I'm going to be real, bro. I think GM3 needs to go to the UFC BJJ. His last 4 fights, first of all, he did decent against Ddariush in the first round. And that should have been a red flag to me picking Ddariush against Allen. But he still did decent against Ddariush in the first round, and then he got destroyed by him and submitted by Ddariush. The Brad Tavares one is what's gross to me, because Brad Tavares is just completely done. He was getting destroyed by Brad Tavares on the feet. I talk to GM3 occasionally on Instagram because he follows me. I was telling him he needs to go do the Mario Batista against Brad Tavares and just clinch him and hold him against the cage. And he did that in the 3rd round, but it was too little too late. Brad Tavares pieced him up. He dropped him at one point, I'm pretty sure. In the Michelle Olajaychuk fight, he got starched badly by Michelle. Michelle, he's on a career resurgence with the Fighting Nerds or whatever. But I still don't think that losing to Michelle in the first one. He just had nothing. Like, if GM3 can't get the fight to the ground, I think he's completely toast. And even if he does get it to the ground, I think Kyle Daukaus has a good enough submission game to avoid the early grappling. I think Kyle Daukaus will be able to stuff the takedowns of GM3. And I think Kyle Daukaus, I think he's going to knock GM3 out in the 2nd round. I think the 1st round is going to be a rough round for us GM3 enjoyers to watch. It's just crazy because of how terrible Kyle Daukaus was. Like, this dude got knocked out by Dolidze, he got knocked out by Eric Anders. He got destroyed by Brendan Allen, but he did good on the ground against Brendan Allen in that fight. He got beat by Phil. People forget, man. Kyle Daukaus submitted Kevin Holland. No, it was a no contest because he headbutted him. But I'm just saying that fight was pretty good on the feet. Look, I think Kyle Daukaus, I think this might be my lock of the week. I don't really do locks of the week because this isn't really about sports betting. But if I was going to put my money on somebody, it would probably be Kyle Daukaus to win this by knockout. Because GM3, the Shabazian fight as well, that should have been stopped. And he's been dropped by his last 4 opponents. Knocked out in a couple of them. I just think he's completely toast. I think he's really good at grappling. I think that's why he should go to UFC BJJ. But GM3, I think it's time to pack it up, bro. The next fight on the card, we got Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cody Haddon. And this is a fucking banger, dude. We got another fucking banger, dude. 10-0 Malcolm Wellmaker, who is coming off of the knockout of all knockouts against Chris Matinho. He knocked out. The Cameron Simon one is crazy as well. The way Cameron Simon's body just slung to the canvas after that knockout was fucking nasty. And on the other end, we have Cody Haddon, whose only loss professionally is to Steve Erceg. He's not undefeated, but he's 2-0 in the UFC, 1 rear naked choke, 1 decision. So we're gonna see this fight. We're gonna see both of these. This is the first real test for both. I mean, Cody Haddon has fought Erceg in the past, so I guess that is a real test. And he beat some decent people on the regional scene as well, but I think Malcolm Wellmaker, I think he's going to be a really good fighter, man. He just kind of has that vibe. Dude, I'm going off fucking vibes here, bro. Malcolm Wellmaker's a fucking beast, bro. No, I'm saying he has some people just have a natural ability to, how do I describe this? You know how if you ever play Madden and you have like certain players will have certain stats? That's kind of how it is with Wellmaker with his knockout ability, bro. He just has the touch of death. He has what Pereira has, the one-hit quit. He has what Topuria has. And I've seen him put out people easily. Now, I know that he's not fighting the highest level of competition. And, fair enough. But neither has Haddon. And I think that if Malcolm Wellmaker touches the chin of Cody Haddon, it's over. I think that this could get into the 2nd round. I think Haddon will try to grapple early because we haven't really seen Wellmaker tested heavily in the grappling. We've seen some people shoot some takedowns on him and get him stuffed, but I think Cody Haddon is highly skilled. I just think Wellmaker was originally supposed to can crush somebody. Haddon's taking the fight on short notice. Now, it's not like short notice Brendan Allen short notice, fucking Dan Ige short notice. But he is still taking the fight not on a full camp. I do believe that Malcolm Wellmaker, if you give him 15 minutes to find someone that's not very experienced, I think he should be able to find the chin of Cody Haddon. He's gone out there. He's changed his life in his last couple of fights. He's got a lot of momentum behind him. I like it for Wellmaker, man. I think he's going to be a good prospect going forward. And yeah, I'm going to pick him to win this fight by knockout in the second round. So yeah. The next fight that's on the card, fucking hell. Fucking hell, man. It's fucking Gooner Central over here, bro. We got Tracy Cortez versus Aaron Blanchfield 2. If you don't remember, Aaron Blanchfield was supposed to fight Macy Barber as the main event in her last fight. But Macy Barber ended up doing the fucking Bryce Mitchell and having a seizure before her last fight. And so Aaron Blanchfield has now been out for a year. Her last fight was against Rose Namajunas. It was a fight, classic 50 fucking boring ass 5-round event for a fucking women's fight. But if you didn't know, this fight is actually a rematch. And in the first fight, Tracy Cortez won by split decision. I think that they have evolved a lot as fighters. And just going off of levels here, which is perfectly fine to do because it's WMMA. The fight with Rose Namajunas for Tracy was a masterclass on Rose's part. She just technically outstruck Tracy Cortez, beat her up, did everything she wanted to her. Fair enough. Rose Namajunas beat Tracy Cortez's ass, and Blanchfield, she went out there and took fucking Rose down at will and beat her up on the ground. And so, just going off of levels, I think we can agree that Aaron Blanchfield has leveled up. She's only lost a man on Firo. But Firo's on another level from either of these fucking people. So, I think that Aaron Blanchfield should go out there and take Tracy Cortez down. Because most of the time, Tracy Cortez is trying to take other people down. Blanchfield is a better grappler. I think she will go out there. She'll take Tracy Cortez down. We've seen Tracy Cortez get her fucking eyelashes punched off before. I think that this will just be a 26-year-old Aaron Blanchfield's only losses are a split decision into Man on Firo versus Tracy Cortez, who is underrated, don't get me wrong, but I've just seen her have some close fights with some people that she shouldn't be having close fights with. And why am I even fucking breaking this down, bro? Nobody watches the Tracy Cortez fight for the fucking skill, okay? Let's just fucking move on, okay? There's so many other good fights on this card. I'm picking Blanchfield by decision. Split decision, fuck it. It will be another split decision. Whatever. The next fight we're going to talk about. Now, this is a fucking sick fight. Robocop versus Roman Kopylov. I'm picking Robocop here, and I think this is a pretty... The odds have Kopylov is a very close... They have him as they have this fight near even. I just don't get it. Because last fight, we saw Roman Kopylov fight someone that was a bruiser, someone who is more physical than him, somebody that is a better striker than him. And we saw them beat him up to a decision. The Chris Curtis fight was a highly competitive fight. I don't think Chris Curtis is that good, but what did Chris Curtis do? He walked Kopylov down. He had he had a he just out physicality'd Kopylov, pushed him on the back foot. And I think Gregory Rodriguez, if I'm not mistaken, he has the most knockouts in the middleweight division. I think I think Gregory Rodriguez should knock out Kopylov, okay? We have seen, the Cesar Almeida fight, Kopylov had to resort to grappling in the Cesar Almeida fight. In the Chris Curtis fight, it was very, very close competitive fight. He was getting pieced up a lot by Curtis. The Paulo Costa fight, he got technically out masterclassed by Paulo Costa, who, and all of these people walk forward, use their physicality, out grappled by Fluffy Hernandez, Besides that, who has Kopylov really beaten? Fucking Josh Friend? Is that a good win? He's older than Robocop. Robocop, Yes, he lost to Jared Cannonier, but he dropped Cannonier twice in the first round. Cannonier had a crazy comeback win, a very entertaining fight. Dude, Robocop sent Jack Hermanson to the fucking morgue. Jack Hermanson got put into a fucking body bag by Robocop. Let me be clear. I just knocked out Jack Hermanson with a brutal left hook. And yeah, Jack Hermanson did land some shots off the back foot, but it didn't matter. And that's what I'm saying in this fight. When Kopylov is on the back foot, when he's the one getting pressured, when everything's not going perfect for him, he gets into split decisions. He gets into losses. And I think this will be another instance of that. Because, frankly, I think Robocop should be ranked, and I think Kopylov is overrated. All right? I'll just say it how I fucking think, bro. I don't think Kopylov is all that. I think he got overrated because he looks like a clone of Chase Hooper. He's part of the Hooper dynasty, the Gooner dynasty. But I don't think that Kopylov is all that. I think we've seen weaknesses in his game exposed, and I think Robocop, he's huge. Like, dude, Robocop is a fucking beast, bro. He fought through that big ad. Remember he had that big ad cut on his forehead? Literally looked like I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get demonetized, but I wish you could see what I'm doing with my hands right now. I'm making like a triangle with my hands, and that's how big the cut was on Robocop's face in the fight against, who was it? Was it Chris Leroy Duncan? And look, Kopylov is beaten. Chris Leroy Duncan is better than Kopylov. And Robocop beat him. Jack Hermanson is better than Kopylov. And Robocop beat him. I think Robocop is going to make short work of Kopylov. So, yeah, I'm picking Robocop. Easy pick. Man, speaking of a not so easy pick, we got Bo Nickel versus Rodolfo Vieira. Bo Nickel, the 3-time NCAA wrestling champion from Penn State. Before we even start the breakdown, I just want to say this. I like Bo Nickel, okay? I said it. I don't care. You can hate on me in the fucking comments. I like Bo Nickel. But I have to be a realist. I thought the Bo Nickel hate was a little bandwagony. It's like, yeah, he's got Dana White privilege, but we always bitch about how boring some of these people are. And when someone talks shit, I like when someone comes into the UFC with some confidence. I think he represents like America pretty well. So I was cheering for Bo Nickel. I wanted him to be successful. Like, why do we not want a big star? Like, why are we cheering against somebody that could bring eyes to the fucking sport? Like, that's what I know he said a lot of stupid shit about Chimaev. Don't get me wrong. I just thought the hate was I think it was a little too much hate, okay? That's all I'll say about that. But I'm not picking him in this fight, all right? I'm picking Rodolfo Vieira to win this fight. And it comes down to this, man. Bo Nickel, he doesn't use his grappling in the fucking UFC. I can't pick the fight based on what I think Bo Nickel should do. I have to pick this fight based on what we have seen out of Bo Nickel. We've seen him knock out Val Woodburn. Yeah, he took Cody Brundage down, but he tried to entertain the striking with him. The DeRitter fight, he tried to take DeRitter down, and he couldn't get him down. DeRitter is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Rodolfo Vieira, I'm pretty sure it might be a win over. I think he's rolled with Craig Jones before. He's a big Jiu-Jitsu champion. He's been around, and we look at the type of people that Rodolfo Vieira is losing to. It's like Andre Petrosky, it's like Chris Curtis. These guys are strikers. These guys are going to out-damage Vieira. Bo Nickel's striking displayed in the Paul Craig fight was abysmal. He has to have made leaps and bounds in progress in the striking for me to think that he can beat Vieira on the feet, because we have seen Bo Nickel try to take down DeRitter, and he couldn't do it. We've seen him avoid the grappling against Paul Craig. These are two high-level grapplers, and now he's facing another high-level grappler in Petrosky. And I just think Bo Nickel, he's overrated, man. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say overrated because everyone kind of proved me. Like, I thought look, my worst take ever. This was before I even had the fucking channel, bro. I thought Bo Nickel was going to be champ. I legitimately was like, I was on the Bo Nickel blueberry train. All right, I was over there tooting the fucking horn for Bo Nickel. I was like, let's fucking go. We got a good fucking American in the fucking UFC. But no, bro, he's the Paul Craig. Like, I can't deny what I've seen with my eyes. The Paul Craig fight was abysmal, and he just folded like a bitch. He folded like a bitch at the fucking Ddariush fight, man. I haven't seen him use his grappling against someone that has high-level grappling themselves. This isn't the type of opponent Vieira loses to. And, you know, I think Vieira is going to win this fight by decision. I do. I low-key would have picked submission, and that would be like the worst possible outcome. But I think Vieira is going to win this by decision. Because I think he's better on the feet than Nickel. Even if the striking cancels out, not the striking, even if the grappling for each other cancel. Like, this is what pisses me off. These two guys, Bo Nickel, who's like a NCAA wrestling champion, and Vieira, who's like one of the best jiu-jitsu people in the UFC. I don't know his accolades. I don't follow this sport of jiu-jitsu. Sorry, guys. I don't follow jiu-jitsu. But Vieira is a very good jiu-jitsu practitioner. Nickel's one of the best wrestlers of all time, apparently, right? They're gonna like strike with each like no one wants to see you guys fucking strike. We want to see the grappling, bro. We want to see the fucking grappling. All right. So I think we'll see the striking though. So that's why I'm picking Vieira. All right, by decision. The next fight on this card. Oh man. This one is, this one's a hard one. These are all hard ones, bro. And let me say this first and foremost. If this was a prime, 32-year-old Beneil Ddariush straight out of the streets of Iran, I would be picking him, all right? I think that Beneil Ddariush has all of the skills necessary to beat Benoit Saint-Denis. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler in and of himself. He can shoot takedowns himself. We saw him outstrike Gamrot. And, we saw what happened when BSD fought Moicano. He got destroyed on the feet. But let's be fucking realists here, man. Let's be realists. He got knocked out by Oliveira. He got knocked out by Sarukian. He got dropped on the feet from Renato Moicano. And I want to pick the underdog Beneil Ddariush here if we're just going skill for skill. But I think he has a problem against these younger guys who are going to be physically imposing upon them. Like, yes, he beat Moicano and BSD lost to Moicano. But BSD, he lost via doctor stoppage. He could have won the fight if he kept fighting. We'll never know. I'm not one of these people. I'm not going to sit here and just cope about BSD. Because I picked Moicano. I thought Moicano was going to fraud check him again. Sip of water. I thought Moicano was going to fraud check BSD, and I was right. And they've given him the Mauricio Ruffy performance for me. I think it really just kind of proves my point. Where BSD is going to walk forward in this fight the entire time. And yes, his striking is really embarrassing. He's not a good striker at all, and I think Ddariush will be the better striker. I just don't think he can survive the power of BSD. I've just seen Ddariush draw. I want to switch, but I can't, bro. My gut is telling me BSD is going to win this. It's just nah, man. Dude, I'm fucking stimming over here because it's I know Ddariush is the better fighter. He's a better striker. He's a better grappler. I just don't think he can avoid the right hand for 15 minutes against someone who's young and physical and going to put the fucking hurt on him. So I'm going to pick BSD to win this one by knockout. I think it's going to be a brutal one too. Here's my prediction. First round, BSD will go out there and he's not going to be able to take Ddariush down. Ddariush is going to be landing really good shots on BSD, and Ddariush is going to win the first round. Then it gets into the second round. First exchange, BSD knocks out Ddariush. That's my prediction, all right? Full fucking prediction right there. Oh, I keep saying this one's hard. This one is hard. This is a really hard, like, ooh. Man. I've watched all the film. I've watched all the tape. And I can't deny what I've seen. I think Leon Edwards is going to win this one by decision. And I've been flip-flopping on this one ever since it got announced. When it first got announced, I was like, oh, fuck. Leon Edwards is a dead man. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. Carlos Prates coming off of a nasty KO. What a super nasty KO over Jeff Neal. Spinning elbow flatline. But then I look at who Leon Edwards is losing to. Sean Brady. He's a grappler. And he choked him out. Bilal Muhammad. He's a grappler. But let's be real. Leon still won 2 rounds of the Bilal fight. But he could have knocked Bilal out at the end if he just showed a little bit more urgency, but he didn't. And that's what kind of scares me going into this picking Edwards, because it's like, this is kind of like the fucking BSD fight where it's like, do I think that Leon Edwards can avoid the brutal KO power of Carlos the cigarette smoking Prates? Do I think he can avoid that for 3 rounds? How long has it been since we've seen Leon Edwards be in a fucking 3-round fight? It's been quite some time. And I just see the Ian Gary fight for Prates, man, where the first 3 rounds of that fight, he had nothing for Ian Gary. And I think Ian Gary and Leon Edwards have a very similar type of style. I think they both have really underrated grappling. I think they both have good rest takedowns and stuff. I think they're both long and lanky. I think they both play off of the back foot very well. I think they're very good shot selectors. I think they throw good leg kicks. And I see all of the things that Ian Gary did to beat Prates. And yes, Prates did drop Gary, but that was in the 5th round. There's not going to be a 5th round for this. So I see someone like Jeff Neal, who's on the tail end of his career, get knocked out for the first time. And I'm just like, that is very impressive. But Jeff Neal's been like ran through by all the best people in this division. Prates was just the next one in line. And I don't know. I think Prates could find the chin of Leon Edwards if this was a 5-round fight. But I think Leon Edwards is just going to be a more technical striker than Prates. He outstruck Usman in the second fight. He knocked out Usman in this, the 3rd fight, in the second fight. Colby fight, Colby took Leon down. Usman took Leon down. Fucking Bilal took him down. Brady took him down. But Prates is not going to be shooting takedowns. This is just going to be a fight on the feet. This is the first time Leon's fought a striker in a long time. And I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with Leon, bro. I don't think he's done yet. I don't know, man, because Prates could just fight. This is like a Derek Lewis-ass fight, bro. You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, this guy is 20 times better than Derek Lewis, but Derek Lewis just needs to find the one shot. That's all Prates needs to do is just find the one shot. And he could find the one shot. But 3 rounds, Leon Edwards, I think I've seen some interviews of him talking, and he kind of has reinvigorated his spirit. Come on, son. Come on, Rock. You got this, Rock. Come on. I don't want to fucking fight him. I just don't, dude, I don't think Prates can find the K. Could he find the K? I think Prates. I'm picking Leon, all right? Locking it in. I'm picking Leon Edwards. I'm picking Prates, not picking Leon. All right, let's just move on to the next one before I change my mind again, all right? Oh, this is awesome. Oh, fucking it just gets better and better, bro. The card just gets juicier and juicier, man. We got Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. I think I'm going to pick Sean Brady to win this fight by decision. The thing about Michael Morales, he is 18-0. He is Ecuadorian. He's undefeated. He's 26 years old. And he is a fucking knockout artist. And I just don't think I've seen enough out of Michael Morales to say that he can beat Sean Brady in the... Like, I haven't seen anybody really test Michael Morales in the grappling area for me to be able to say that he can stuff Brady's takedowns and defend submissions. Now, I am going to lean more towards the fact that he can defend the submissions more than he's going to get choked out, because we've seen Sean Brady go to decision with Chiesa, who has decent grappling, Gilbert Burns, who has great grappling. And then when he fights these people that don't have good grappling, he finishes them with the submissions. Leon Edwards has good grappling, but he's not really like good off of his back. You know what I mean? You know, he finishes Kelvin Gat. Like, I think Brady will be able to get takedowns in this fight. I think he's been improving his striking. We've seen improvements in the strike. Like, he did really good work against Leon on the feet. But Leon was so nervous about, I was fucking 2 in the fucking morning, bro. I woke up at 2 in the morning. You know. It was 2 in the fucking morning, bro. That's the Leon Edwards right there. But yeah, he did good on the feet against Leon. I just look at these people Michael Morales has beaten, and it's not impressive to me. Gilbert Burns, he's on a 3-fight losing streak, knocks him out easy. Burns kind of shells up and quits. Neil Magny, similar to the whole Jeff Neal situation we were talking about earlier, Neil Magny's been ran through by the entire division. Anyone that's good gets past Neil. And Neil Magny, he's underrated. He stays in the top 15 forever, Neil Magny for life. But, come on, man. I don't think the Neil Magny win is worth much. Jake Matthews, he just lost to Neil Magny himself. And Max Griffin, it fucking sucks. And Adam Fuggett isn't that fucking good. So it's like, someone that I know is definitely really, really fucking good is Sean Brady, who trains with Joe Pyfer, who is submitted former champion Leon Edwards, who beat ADCC champion Gilbert Burns, who beat Kelvin Gastelum, who's a proven fighter. I just think Brady's beaten more proven fighters. I think we have not seen Michael Morales tested in the grappling. And for those reasons, I'm going to be picking Sean Brady to win this fight, either by decision or submission. I'm leaning more towards decision, though. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Sean Brady to win this fight by decision, all right? I'm scrolling the wrong way here. Oh, there it is. All right. The next fight on the card, we got the co-main event of the evening. We got Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. And this is like, dude, let's just hype this shit up. Dude, this is fucking fire. Like real shit, like no clown shit. This is a WMMA fight I'm genuinely excited for. We got the Zhang Weili, whose only losses have been to Rose Namajunas. The second fight with Rose Namajunas could have gone either way. But besides those fights, she has ran through her division, beat the fuck out of Tatiana Suarez, beat the fuck out of Yan Xiaonan, beat the fuck out of Amanda Lemos, beat the fuck out of Carla Esparza, easily to reclaim the belt, knocked out Joanna Jędrzejczyk after, Zhang Weili, if she wins this fight, I'm going to put her above Nunes as the go to this fucking women's shit, bro. Like, Valentina Shevchenko is a real fucking problem. We know how good she is because we know how good Firo is. And she did beat Firo. But here's what I'll say. While Zhang Weili has been running through her opponents with ease, Valentina Shevchenko has been making it a little too close for my liking, okay? Now, the man on Firo fight was 3-2. A couple extra punches thrown for Firo. And I think that she could win that fight, all right? The fight with Grasso was fucking boring. She literally just laid on top of Grasso. But look, do we really think that Shevchenko is just going to lay on top of Zhang Weili? No, man, that shit is not happening, okay? So we don't even need to look at the fucking third Grasso fight. We look at the second Grasso fight. It was on the feet for the most part. It ended up going to a draw. Grasso had a lot of technical success on the feet, and Grasso is a little bit overrated, all right? And she got submitted by Grasso, and even in the fight before that, she was in a split decision, which was also close. So I look at Shevchenko, who is running through the top of her division with ease. And then I look at other way around. I look at Wei Li, who is running through the top of her division with ease. And then I look at Shevchenko, and she's having these really, really close fights with, like, don't get me wrong, they're the best fucking fighters in the world, but Talia Santos, she just got destroyed by Dakota Divievich in the fucking PFL. Didakovic or whatever. Fucking spasm right there. I think Zhang Weili should just out technique Shevchenko, who is 37, almost 38 years old. Don't get me wrong, Weili's not no spring chicken either. She's 36, but she looks in her prime. She's taken less damage. She's got lighter woman skill. I don't know if that's really a thing for WMMA. I feel like being heavier is better for WMMA low key. But I think, like, when we come to technical strikers, the best technical striker that Weili fought was Rose. I thought she could have gotten the first fight. She beat Young J-Tech twice. Glory to the fucking CCP. Glory to China. Glory to Mao Zedong. Glory. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to get demonetized. But I think Zhang Weili should handle Shevchenko. 49-46 is my prediction. All right. Drum roll. The main event. Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. And this is a fight that I want to predict correctly, because this is literally like Rocky 4. Like recreated, okay? This is literally Rocky 4, like the plot of Rocky 4, where Volkanovski, he's Apollo Creed. He went out there. Islam Makhachev destroyed Apollo Creed. And now JDM is the protege of Apollo Creed. He's the underdog. He's proven himself in the past to be a great fighter. And now he's going out there to avenge his fallen master against the Russian Islam Makhachev. Tell me that's not fucking cinema. That's literally Rocky 4. I kept saying Rocky 3. It's Rocky 4. It's literally Rocky 4. But the prediction, man. I think Islam Makhachev is going to win this by a 48-47 decision. And here are my reasons for thinking so, okay? Yes. Well, let's talk about the JDM side of this first, all right? Makhachev did struggle greatly with the boxing of Dustin Poirier, with the boxing of Volkanovski in the first fight. You know, he had some troubles in those departments. But he also had a lot of success himself. The fucking first Volkanovski fight, people talked about how close it was. It could have been 4-1 Makhachev, all right? The Poirier fight, where people are like, dude, Poirier was tagging out Makhachev. He was. Don't get me wrong, but Makhachev ended up finishing that fight with a submission Darce anyways. Renato Moicano, great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist, you know, whatever fucking fight. Like, it was like literally a day. Like, why are we talking about the Moicano fight? All right. Man, I don't even know. Because this is such a close fight. I really do think... I think the JDM fans are a little delusional. They look at the Bilal Muhammad fight and they're like, bro, he stuffed every single takedown from Bilal. He stuffed every takedown from Bilal. He didn't. Bilal did take him down. Now, he was not able to hold him down. But I think that Islam Makhachev is basically just a better version of Bilal in every way, shape, and form. And that fight is a lot closer than people are willing to realize, okay? That fight was 48-47. I'm not coping here. Look, this is going to come off as like me being like I have no dog in this race. I'm a fucking Shavkat Glazer, all right? So I'm not out here trying to be pro brother or pro like kangaroo or whatever. I have no dog in this fight. I do enjoy both of these fighters. I think they're both highly entertaining. But I think I think Islam Makhachev is just a better version of Bilal Muhammad. I think Belal Muhammad had a lot of success in the JDM fight. Like, hold up. Like, this is JDM's face after he fought Belal Muhammad. Belal has fucking pillow hands. Islam Makhachev is not only nasty with the submissions, he does possess power in his hands as well. So, number one, Islam does have better finishing ability than anybody that JDM has faced thus far. He's better than Burns. He's better than Holland. He's better than Hafez. He's better than Randy Brown. He's better than Belal in the finishing ability. He's the best grappler we've ever seen. We've seen Belal take JDM down. We've seen he was not able to hold JDM down because JDM is a very great grappler himself. But I do think that I think Islam Makhachev will be able to, like, if you are, I don't think that, like, let's be for real here. This is the same exact argument that was used in the Belal fight. But Burns was able to take JDM down. Hafez was able to take him down. I just think that Islam Makhachev, who is probably the best grappler, he has such good double legs. He has such good single legs. He has really good trips. I think that he's going to be able to get JDM down on the ground. And once he gets him down, he is really good at working. Laying ground and pound, getting the back, holding it there, threatening submissions. I think JDM is good enough to not get submitted. But I just think that Islam Makhachev will take JDM down in this fight. I think that is an inevitable thing that's going to happen. And I think that once Islam Makhachev gets top control and top pressure, I don't know if JDM is good enough to get out of those positions. And listen, man, we have seen Islam get pieced up by Dustin and Volk, like we've said, but he has won those fights. And I think that Volk is a better fighter than JDM. You know? I think Volk is a better well-rounded fighter. He's a better overall fighter, I think, in almost every department except for the boxing. And Volk still does have good boxing himself. A lot of people are saying JDM knockout. I don't really see that either. Like, who was JDM finished? You know? Like, he knocked out Gilbert Burns in the third round with a knee. Like, do we really think that Islam is going to get knocked out with a knee to the face? I don't see it, man. I just don't fucking see it. I see Islam Makhachev being able to get JDM down for at least 3 out of the 5 rounds of this fight. And I think that once he gets that position, he's not going to let it up. And the size is a big thing people are talking about. Like, are we not past this shit yet? Do we not know that size is not a real thing in the fucking, like, size is a real thing, but like, if Islam Makhachev bulks properly, which I've seen pictures and videos of him walking around and shit, he looks to be properly bulked up. He looks to be in great shape for this. I mean, he works with Team fucking Khabib. Like, these guys, they don't go into a fight planning to fucking lose. I'll tell you that. Something that definitely needs to, like, concern anybody that's picking JDM is the submission ability of Islam Makhachev. Because, yes, while I do think that Islam Makhachev will be able to control JDM in this fight and land good ground and pound, Islam is really, really good with his submissions, and he's really, really good at creating them during scrambles. And so the part of JDM's game that's really good is his scrambling ability, where someone will shoot a takedown on him and, something starts to happen and then he gets back to his feet, right? But in those kind of moments, Islam Makhachev is really good at sneaking in submissions, like what he did against Dustin Poirier, where Poirier stuffed one of his takedowns and then Islam kind of like whipped his leg, did a trip on him, and then got the fucking, it was the Darce, right? That is definitely something that needs to be worrying for anyone picking JDM. But I do think that in those kind of moments where Islam gets like a dominant position, I think he should be able to hold it. And I don't know, we've seen, like, I think Volkanovski is a higher level grappler than Makhachev. Than Makhachev. Volkanovski is a higher level grappler than JDM. And we saw Makhachev sneak in his takedowns against him, control his back for a full round, lay on top of him, do all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying, I think JDM is going to have success. I think at some point in this fight, Islam Makhachev will get cracked. I don't think he will get dropped, but I do think at some point in this fight, Islam Makhachev will hit the canvas. And people will be making fucking edits and saying JDM got robbed and shit. But I really do think that Islam Makhachev, he's good enough to take JDM down. He's good enough to hold JDM down. And obviously JDM is going to hold an advantage in the striking department. But I don't think it's as big of an advantage as people are making it out to be. We've seen Islam defeat other boxers. And we've seen Islam knock out Volk. And I know that was on 2 weeks' notice, but he still knocked out Volk. You know? And he did have good moments on the feet against Poirier, who was one of the best strikers. He did have good moments. He dropped Charles Oliveira. And who doesn't drop Charles Oliveira, obviously? But then he submitted him on the ground. And we just saw how good Oliveira was against fucking Gamrot on the ground. Islam submitted him, dropped him, and choked him. We've seen the fight with Arman, where those scrambles were crazy, and Islam was still able to control Arman. And I just think about all of these moments, and I think that JDM hasn't faced somebody of the level of Islam Makhachev yet. And this isn't to say that I don't like JDM, because I do. I think he's a good guy. And, you know, I like his style. He's fun. But I just think that Islam Makhachev is going to win this fight. So I am picking Islam Makhachev to win this fight by decision, okay? And here's something else I want to point out. Islam Makhachev has been cutting insane amounts of weight for this fight. Not for his fight. Islam Makhachev has been cutting an insane amount of weight for his fights at lightweight. And I don't know if that's the full version we've seen of Makhachev. I think this version of Makhachev we're about to see at 170. I've seen, dude, the pictures I've seen of Islam, no glaze, bro. This dude is looking fucking sauced up, all right? Real shit. They look like he's got him back on the sauce, okay? But I will say, I think the weight cut for Islam to lightweight, he is huge. I think Islam Makhachev is probably around the same size as somebody like Colby Covington. So I don't think that that's going to be an issue. And I'll say this too. People talk about Dustin Poirier like he's some fucking scrub on the ground. He's a fucking black belt on the fucking ground. You know, he's still a fucking black belt on the ground. He's been submitted by the 3 greatest fucking submission artists of all time. Khabib, Oliveira, and fucking Islam. Submitting Dustin Poirier is an impressive feat. And I just think that Islam has fought higher levels of competition. I think he's just a higher level fighter. I think he's got better fight IQ. And, you know, if Bilal Muhammad is able to do that much damage in their fight where he doesn't even get takedowns, I think someone like Islam Makhachev, who is really good at he's a great shot selector. Like, he doesn't throw Islam is not like, you're not going to see Islam Makhachev go out there and throw like a 14 punch combination like JDM is going to do, right? He throws 2, maybe 3 punches at once. But the punches that he throws, they land, man. Because he is really good at selecting shots. He has a really nasty body kick as well. I think no fence sitting here. Islam Makhachev will win this fight by decision. And that is my final prediction, all right? But that will do it for the video. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, do all that YouTube shit. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter. If you want to help support the page monetarily, check out my Buy Me a Coffee. It's in the description. And look at this fucking car, man. It's a beautiful day. We're over the apex. We're over the hill. We're in the fucking woods. It's a beautiful day to be alive as a UFC fan, because this card is absolutely amazing. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Peace.